Good morning. The title for this video today on the 20th of October is a question. Were OPPT and Swiss Indo scams? I listened with great interest to Peter Van Runt's interview with Cleve True, is that his real name, that I shared part 3 on my Facebook page yesterday. I found parts 1 and 2 as well, but the others remain hidden so far. I also conversed with Peter via Facebook. I learned many things I did not know, even though Peter said it was me who aroused his interest in the OPPT, One People's Public Trust. Falling for those scams makes me wonder how many lies we are given to absorb us in useless activity. This I know. As long as I have breath, I will live to bring the positive changes for humanity that I have envisioned since childhood. I honestly believe I was born on a mission from God. When I no longer believe that, I will die. Indeed, there was a lot of introspection as Peter reviewed some of the events that I was involved in, the OPPT. And I want to say something about the PPT that came to me this morning as I'm sitting here waiting to create the video and just meditating a little bit. And that is that I believe Heather really had good intent. And she was really the creator of the OPPT. I believe what she wrote was true, basically, and it could have been used as a step to liberate humanity. Instead, it was diverted to the Swiss Indo scam, and I don't believe Mr. Sugi himself originated the scam. I think he was used in the scam. He went along with the game, don't get me wrong. But it was run by the European cabal from Switzerland. That's why it's the Swiss Indo. And we, many of us, myself included, want the world to change for the better. We want a government. If there has to be a government at all, let it at least be an honest government that tells the truth, that isn't founded on lies and fictional money, and which is fiat currency, that isn't founded on forcing people to do anything except love one another. And I do think governments and police have the right to intervene when someone is out of control, violently so, overrunning other people's rights and using force or any other means against honest people or against people that are trying to do anything. Doesn't even if they're dishonest people. I think that there has to be some kind of check and balance put in place to sort of curtail things and keep them from getting out of hand, which obviously was never implemented in the story of creation as we've known it in the past at least a couple or a few thousand years. God has never stepped in and said, look, you're getting it wrong. Maybe God did, but nobody listened, and God didn't stop the powers that wanted to be Lucifer or whatever. God didn't stop them from doing the wrong thing and from misleading people and from imprisoning people's minds. And I don't understand that. Because if I was all powerful, if I was creator of all that is and didn't have limitations, allowing freedom is one thing. Allowing freedom to be taken away from the majority of those born is quite another thing. I don't claim to understand that. I may not ever understand that. If I were to sit down face to face with the Creator, and I'm going to shift my position here. If I were to sit down face to face with the Creator, I'd have some really hard questions to ask, because I don't understand injustice in a world made by an all-powerful force of creation, Creator. I don't understand that. Now, is that a myth that I bought into and still buy into? I don't know the answer. I've been going through this year a lot of introspection, re-examining my beliefs, re-examining how I think and what I look at. And Peter's video, and I hope to find parts 4 and 5, I realized as I was laying in bed last night before I fell asleep that they're probably on Cleve True's webpage, and I don't have to depend on Facebook to put them in, or I should say YouTube, to put them in chronological order, which would make sense to me, but maybe it doesn't make sense to maybe it doesn't make sense to YouTube to put things the way they're supposed to be, the way that would be logical to put them. Anyway, I really do appreciate Peter's reflections on what happened with Oppt and Swiss Indo, both of which I was involved in. And again, I want to say that I don't think Heather had malintent, and I don't think most of the people involved had malintent. I think we were brought into that because we didn't have malintent. Now there's always plants, there's always people, and there were people in the Australian delegation and the American delegation that I, looking back and reflecting, I think they were plants by the cabal. I'm not going to name names. It's not for me to judge, but the results we have to judge as failed. And I look at the ambassador and the Dragon family, and the ambassador has been really good to me overall, except for not keeping his promise that he promised me $5,000. That's never happened, and quite honestly, I wonder now if it'll ever happen. He has proven himself to be a friend in many conversations and has spoken to me from his heart. And I wonder, and I ask myself, how much was I coloring that? And I don't know the answer. It doesn't seem like it was that was the case. But as I said earlier in the video here, I'm going through a period of real deep self-examination. My birthday is tomorrow. I turn 69 years old. I've been on this planet for 69 full years as of tomorrow at, what is it, I believe 10:19 p.m. was the time that I was born, on 10/21, 1946. And so that will be starting my 69th year. And I'm reflecting on where I've been and where I'm going to go from here. I want to be a man who stands for truth and who promotes what I felt was my vision and my calling since I was a boy, and that is to bring the kingdom of heaven into manifestation on earth so that we can all know God, and in knowing God, we'll understand who we are. Anyway, that's my sharing for today, and as always, I thank you for listening. I appreciate your friendship. Namaste.